So we've already cracked open the UniFi 6 Lite and also the UniFi 6 Pro. So what access point that's Wi-Fi 6 do we have left to crack open? That's right, we've got the long-range one right here. So let's go ahead and crack this open. We got the protective plastic clamshell here. Take that off. And let me show you the difference in size between the long range and the U6 Pro. Side by side here. Now here we've got the level and then just the rest of the mounting hardware here. You've got your little QR code manual here and the mounting hardware. So just to show you, we've got the Lite here on the left, the Pro in the middle, and the long range right here on the far right. And it is definitely the heaviest. And of course, all three of them have metal backs here. Now before cracking it open, you can see here it is actually IP54 rated right there. And of course, I'm totally voiding the warranty on this so that you don't have to. Let's go ahead and pull this out here. Just has a single gigabit port right there. I'm going to figure out how to get in this. It's like Ubiquiti has seen my other videos and gone through extra efforts to keep me out of cracking these open. I might need to bust out the heat gun on this thing. It is not coming apart. So as you saw, I went ahead and used the heat gun in the kitchen, and let's try to finish cracking this open. Well, that sucks. Let's see, we might just have it far enough open to be able to just finish pulling it apart by hand here. All right. Who needs a gym pass when you can just take apart Ubiquiti access points? Man, that was tough to pull apart. Now this looks kind of familiar. It looks very similar to Wi-Fi 6 Pro, at least from the aspect of the antenna configuration here. But maybe I'll do a separate video just comparing the internals. So let's go ahead and take these screws out. Looks like there are 4 screws holding this down. And here for the antennas, it actually tells you what they are. So this is the 2G3, 5G3, 2G2, 5G2, 2G1, 5G1, 2G0, 5G0. And here you've got Bluetooth and SA. Can't tell if there is adhesive holding this down or what, but the 4 screws are out. I wouldn't think I'd have to disconnect any of the antennas to be able to remove this. It does sound like an adhesive underneath. Yep, definitely an adhesive. Okay, so the bottom is definitely glued in. So you can see inside of here we got a couple of thermal pads. It looks like they really just don't want you to take this thing apart. I think that this piece here that is definitely has a very strong adhesive on the back. I'm guessing there might be some screws or something going into the board, because the board just does not want to come off the bottom plate here. I'm gonna go hit it with the heat gun again. Okay, so I took the heat gun to it, actually found out a couple of things. Not sure if this will come back out as easy as before. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see here, it was not actually screwed in or anything from the bottom up, so that's good. This adhesive is super, super strong. And then this just slides out like that and up. So now we can take a look and see what is on the bottom here. Now it looks like that Ubiquiti stays consistent here with how they are connecting the connectors to the board here by using some kind of like epoxy or hot glue. Now very carefully, I'll take this thermal pad off so we can see what is underneath it. It looks like a Marvell chipset. Let's check out this set of chips here as well. We'll see if we can get a good picture of these here and then pull them up online. So if we take a look at this chip right here, that is a MX25L12833F, and that is serial multi-IO flash memory and is 128 megabits. I pulled up the site here for DigiKey to go ahead and go over the rest of the specs here on it if you wanted to check that out. And of course, I'll have all the links down in the description below. Now next here is a chip by Winbom, and it is the 25Q512JVFQ. Now I found a datasheet for this chip, so I'll go ahead and leave that link down below for you as well. Now here we've got the Mediatek processor, which is a dual-core ARM MT6722AV. That's a Cortex A53. And I'll actually drop a link down below. Somebody actually already did a disassembly on this, and they have done a very thorough job on it. So I will link to it, and you can read about that if you like. So now I'm going to go ahead and start putting this back together. Slide it all back together. Ethernet port is flush, so there we go. Now for the moment of truth, go ahead and plug it in. Actually, I'll just keep the top off here and we can watch the LED on it. There we go. So it did some blinking and then nothing. It took a while, but it did finally come up. So we've got a solid white ring now, and it shows that it is ready for me to go ahead and adopt. So I'm going to click on adopt, and there we go. So you can see here that it is getting ready. So once it finishes, what I'm going to go ahead and do is configure it so that it has its own unique SSID that will only have a single Wi-Fi 6 client connected to it. And then I'll go ahead and run some speed tests, both just over the network, and then speedtest.net by Ucla on an app, as well as the Wi-Fi Man app, both on the local network to the UDM Pro, as well as over to the internet. All right, so I am connected to the U6LR, and let's first do a open speed test. Now this is using 160 megahertz width on 5 gigahertz. So that was 276.9 megabits down and 743.7 megabits up. So now we got the speed test from Ucla. So that's 612 megabits down and 31.5 megabits up. Now let's go ahead and run Wi-Fi Man. So that was 667.2 megabits down and 35.9 megabits up. So now I'm going to go ahead and select the UDM Pro, do a speed test directly to it using Wi-Fi Man as well. So this went ahead and did 732.3 megabits down and 219.3 megabits up. Now what I don't get is, why is it when I run Wi-Fi Man over to the UDM Pro, you would think that you would be able to get the fastest speeds possible. However, when I run open speed test on a underpowered VM, I get slower download speeds, but then faster upload speeds. So I'm curious what causes that. If you know, go ahead and drop a comment down below. Now next, I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to the 2.4 gigahertz, which is configured for 20 megahertz width, and go ahead and do the same tests again. So here is open speed test, and that is over 20 megahertz width on 2.4 gigahertz, so pretty close to around 100 megabits down and 100 something up here. So that shows 95.4 megabits down and 125.4 megabits up. So now we'll do the Ucla speed test again. It looks like there might be some network congestion or interference just based on the performance. So that's 80.4 megabits down and 35.3 megabits up. Now we'll go ahead and run Wi-Fi Man. This is using their speed test server. It's interesting that it shows up as 2 clients because I only have 1 client connected to it. Actually, it looks like the Google Home Mini connected to it. That's interesting. I didn't configure that, just joined. So that is 94.2 megabits down and 36.7 megabits up. Now we'll do a speed test to the UDM Pro. So that is 97.8 megabits down and 79.5 megabits up. So tell me what you think of the performance of this UniFi Wi-Fi 6 long-range access point, and if you're looking at purchasing one of these, why you would like this one over, say, for example, the Pro or the Lite. Now, real quick, right behind me here, I have a switch I plan on unboxing and also cracking open as well. So if you'd like to see that, go ahead and make sure that you smash that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.